Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Super Magical Podcast, a weekly interactive podcast where we take a sincere, sarcastic, and this week a very cinematic look at the world of gaming, TV, music, movies, and more. My name is Mallow. Hoover is out on assignment this week, and joining me in the studio for my co-host for life is Jay. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me since, I live here and all.
Yeah, it's partially your studio. You own like half the studio, like the part that's off camera, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, welcome to the circus that we call a podcast that you put up with every week. We are streaming live around the world on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. We are at twitch.tv/supermagicalpodcast. If you want to join the podcast and heckle us, comments, questions, anything in the stream, let us know what we're doing or if we're doing wrong. Like we'll read it all out on the show. First off, this is the latest news as of today. We're going to talk about Apple's announcement. We're going to start off with some tech news. So they did a phone, and then they did another phone, and then they did a watch thing, and that was it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they did the TV.
The TV.
Yeah, they did the TV.
The Steve Jobs Theater.
And the Steve Jobs
you
Theater.
can't buy, but
well, yeah, you can't probably buy that, but okay. What are your thoughts overall?
I like my iPhone SE. I like that it's not huge and that it does all the things I want it to do.
Yeah.
Facial recognition software sounds somewhat cool and then somewhat a little too Star Trek futuristic. And then all these questions started popping up because, I'm on the Kanye workout plan, right? So I'm trying to watch my figure and lose weight. So if I drop a bunch of weight, is my phone still going to recognize me, or is it going to be like, new phone, who this? So I don't know. And then the visual image for the watch was ridiculous because I'm swimming. My phone's ringing. Let me answer the phone through my watch underwater. Says no one ever because physics and drowning.
Hold on. I'm swimming away from a shark.
I'm
swimming to a shark.
Yeah,
it's
not
like
gonna
every
happen.
other. It's like every other thing. It's like above water they can hear you. Below water they can't hear you. Above water. Chat is already filled with the Apple haters right now. The hate and the dark side is with you guys. I want to talk about, because let's be honest, most of what Apple does is the marketing of these products, because as chat has so well pointed out, everything that they've done today is already kind of done on other phones and tablets and things like that. Hoover's favorite iPhone, his favorite Microsoft Surface does that facial recognition thing or whatever like that, eye scanning and all. And so it's nothing new for the technology. We had one and tried it for a little while. But there was literal like Game of Thrones like faces on wall at some point during the presentation.
I saw that.
It was the weirdest shit ever.
And the emoji.
Oh, fuck the emoji thing.
Bobbers.
No, this whole thing, to sum it up, this entire presentation was, well, we've reached the end of the world, so here's some shit that can do some animated emojis for you. Have at it. We got nothing else we can put into a phone for you, so we're going to make yourself look like a dog. And then go, like, yeah.
Does that mean that DMX is going to buy a ton of them?
No, but if they would allow me to do DMX instead of the dog, I would probably then buy it.
What about Dog the Bounty Hunter?
No. Nobody should ever look like that man. Nobody. Not even him should look like that man. Somebody said it's when iOS 6 dropped and when Android brought out the Welcome to 2011 Apple banners. Pretty much, right?
I mean, on the plus side, you can take your iPhones on an airplane.
True, they won't explode.
They're not going to explode.
Yeah. So,
there's that.
Upgrade, downgrade time. You're not going to have exploding phones from Apple, I guess. I don't know. They warp, apparently. I never had one that warped, but...
And what's with the glass back? Like, do these people not have children?
Service plans. Yeah, I mean, it's service plans. That's all it is. That's a way to sell, like, oh, it's well to save, cases and service plans and all that kind of stuff.
Also, I'm not digging the rose gold hybrid.
Excuse me while I clutch my pearls. You not liking something in rose gold?
I like my golds distinct. I don't like the mixing of the golds. And so
Wait. You're practicing segregation on gold?
Yes.
What?
It's just like you got your yellow gold and your white gold, which really isn't gold. Neither is white chocolate, but that's another discussion. So yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay.
I'm a ride or die for my SE until it dies.
Does the fact that there is wireless charging to all of these things ever actually excite you? Or excuse me, wireless charging. You still have to sit on a dock.
Yeah.
But now you can set all three things on a dock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, cords are ugly and all, but it ain't the end of the world.
Well, but you still, you still gotta have a cord for the base and everything like that. I don't know. It just seems, this whole thing seems very to me. The Apple phone that has no bezel that's on there. I also don't like the Samsung phone that doesn't have a bezel either. I think that's really kind of stupid, but that's just me.
Yeah, in the X, are they calling it the X or the 10?
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. X. They missed a whole fucking marketing opportunity where Exhibit needs a few dollars right now because Pimp My Ride ain't out anymore.
No.
Yeah, sadly, it's not.
But yeah, that's just like,
yeah,
we call things phablets now.
But they're all the same size as the phone that I have. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look huge until I compare it to your SE or whatever like that. So
if it can't fit in your pocket, it's too big.
Mine fits in my pocket.
You should not be saying, "Is that an iPhone in your pocket?" Or "Are you happy to see me?"
It's both usually, but
well, thank you.
Okay. Chat says white chocolate is nasty. I agree. Only wireless charging thing I've gotten excited about lately is Logitech's new wireless charging mousepad. Okay, that one I'm gonna give you. That's actually really kind of cool. Because I love the Logitech stuff.
Yeah.
In the day job and all like that. So I would possibly do that. It just depends on which mice work with it. If other mice don't work with it, then I'm a little. No.
Is the plural of computer mouse mice? I've never thought about that.
Yeah, mice. Yeah.
All right. That's my Katy Perry "The More You Know" moment of the day.
Left shark don't give a fuck. PUBG. Pete was streaming it earlier today and not doing the worst in the world. He was doing pretty well. But they now have 1 million concurrent users, and I believe it. That's a lot of people playing a game at one time. I think they have over 10 million downloads of the game too, making it the most popular game on Steam, which is just above Dota 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Steam's own game got unseated by a game where what I call Hunger Games, the video game, essentially. So I don't know if you've seen this, but they drop you in the middle of an island, and your whole job is to play King of the Hill and be the last one to survive. And you can run around the island and find cars and guns and med packs and all that kind of stuff. But then as the game goes on, it starts to restrict the area. Sadly, when I was asking earlier today if they had rabid dogs and all that kind of, not as cool as the Hunger Games, apparently. But
it sounds like the Hunger Games meets the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, well,
yeah, constricted.
Right, but more serpentine because people can do that a little bit easier with a mouse and keyboard. So
true. Please,
yeah,
Rickon
and Dickin.
I was pulling for Dick on.
This is a game that I think you should play because you can kill and be killed.
Sweet.
It's your favorite first-person shooter strategy ever.
Yep.
Star Wars 9 lost a director, picked up a director. JJ is back.
Lens flares
everywhere. Yay! He will write and direct the final movie in the trilogy. And he's going to write alongside, and I'm going to butcher his name as is possible, The Return of JJ. Chad just said Star Wars 9, The Return of JJ. Yeah, pretty much. We'll wait for the meme to come out for that. He's going to be writing the movie alongside Chris Terrero? I don't know. But he penned Batman vs. Superman. and he's got a writing credit on the upcoming Justice League film. And why? My love / hate of DC movies continues. Why can't they just get Lawrence Kasdan to finish this thing off? Please, 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 please have him come back in.
Batman versus Superman. Yeah.
Wait, is it gonna be like Kylo Ren versus Rey at the end, and they're gonna be like, wait, you know
Han?
No, you know Luke too?
Why did you say Luke?
Right? Bring back Lord Kasdan. Yes. Let him be the Sith Lord in the background. But here's the thing. We are on officially, by the way, right now, #AbramsWatch 2019. Because they got a lot of time between now and then to fire him. I don't think they will. But, no, sorry, chat. Lawrence Fishburne is my father-in-law. And her
True
mom.
story.
And her mom. Lawrence Kasdan is the writer. Different story. So if I did say Lawrence Fishburne, it's because I was thinking of father-in-law. Big ups to Houston. But yeah, so considering directors have been changed more often in the Schoolboy's underpants, there's a good chance that we may not end up with JJ. We might have somebody else in there, but
who would you rather see in there?
I mean, I'm okay with JJ. He did fine with episode 7. You know, if he's just going to riff on Return of the Jedi 2, Electric Boogaloo, then that's fine. I think that's fine. Do you have somebody else that you have in mind that you would like to see?
No, I haven't given it that much thought.
Okay. Chat says they want Rian Johnson back. Well, we won't know if he's going to be good yet until we actually see the movie in December, though.
True.
So that's the only thing.
Wishful.
It is wishful thinking. I think it looks good. What's the chat? Help me out. What's the cute little things that came back this time? What's the new little alien cute things? Hugs, perks, pogers, whatever. One of those things. Anyways, but no, porgs. There we go. Porgs. Thank you, chat. The porg things look cute and they look a little less annoying than Jar Jar Binks and shit like that. So I'm okay with a little bit of that kind of stuff. So Spielberg doing a Star Wars movie? No. We talked about it on the show already. Spielberg shouldn't do it. I'm not exactly excited that Ron Howard is doing the Han Solo movie. These guys, when they do.
Wait, what?
Now, Ron Howard is now doing the Han Solo spinoff film.
As in Opie Taylor.
Opie Taylor and the narrator to what is the other show that he did? You know what I'm talking about. But yeah. He's doing the directing for that one. So
it's gonna have us all up in our feels?
Maybe. I don't know. Arrested Development, that's right. Yeah. Ron Howard's only doing it because he's a huge studio pushover. Okay. Fair enough. I wanna transition us to a new segment that we're gonna have called Ask a Black Person. If you're not watching this live on Twitter, there's a black person sitting across from me.
Show enough.
I have a question for you. This is a one-word test. Is it ever okay to say the N-word?
Negative.
That is correct. It is never okay to say the N-word. Looking at you, PewDiePie. Giving you the stink eye to the camera. Really? You got to go and screw it up for the rest of us? Come on, brother.
The thing I don't get are all the people who are like, oh, it was just a heated moment. And, it slipped out. That's almost like somebody accidentally getting pregnant. They slipped and fell on some D. It doesn't just slip out. If this isn't something that's in your everyday vernacular, then you're not going to accidentally let it slip out.
That's the thing. It is not his first time to do stupid stuff like this. It is. Look, we come from the South. It is in our vernacular at least enough to know that you should never say it. And how he's saying it, I have no clue. It's just in 2017. I know we should expect better, and I know the things that are going on in the political climate and stuff like that. But come on, man. Why is this video games, y'all? This video games. It ain't that serious.
True, and there's a few times when people kind of reveal their true selves. The first one is if they're drunk, high, or otherwise under the influence. And then the second is when they're in extreme pain, like child labor, which, I had a C-section, so you ain't have to go through that. And then the third is when they're angry. And so I think when people say stupid shit in those moments, that's actually how they feel.
Right.
And the rest of the time it's just what they censor themselves to say.
It's their brand. They gotta have their brand.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. So yeah, PewDiePie can.
I'll say it. PewDiePie can suck his dick.
Oh yeah, you have one. There you go.
Reading chat. He's been in the Anglosphere long enough. He should have known better. So. He knew enough to use it in a derogatory fashion. Yeah, he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, he had context.
He hasn't been in the media lately, so he had to do something to get back in the media. So he's very famous for this kind of stuff. But just so if anybody is aware, don't say stuff like that.
I read, and I don't have it pulled up, but one game wants him to pull down his gameplay.
Campo Santo, the creators of Firewatch, is a game that we really love.
Firewatch.
And he's kind of like, they've already pulled it. They've done a DMCA takedown of it. And I'm not usually a fan of those kind of things, but I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with them trying to take some corrective action for this because, frankly, there's got to be some way to hit him, and the YouTubers that are supporting him aren't going to be the ones they're not going to take responsibility for it. So if the game developers want to take some responsibility and try to help him, because that's what it is. I mean, you're trying to like teach him not to do this sort of thing. It's punishment, but you're eventually trying to like get him not to continue doing something stupid. So
yep, and that's the age we're in right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah, you got to talk with the dollars a little bit. Speaking of talking with the dollars, I think Nintendo has finally heard Hoover and I's pleas for everything. The Nintendo is bringing back the NES Classic in 2018. They will supposedly they are making the SNES Classic as well. But I think though that means we're just gonna get like 3 more of each. They're just gonna be like handcrafted, artisanal, much like this podcast. Very, very organic SNES Classics.
Do I get Duck Hunt?
No, that's the thing. It doesn't come with a little mini blaster.
But I want Duck Hunt. I feel so dejected right now. Like, sure, I can save the princess and do some other things, but really I want to hunt ducks.
You want to hunt ducks? Okay, I feel you.
The original first-person shooter. Or is that third person?
Actually, no, that's very meta. That might be the original first-person shooter. It might be. I was always the Super Scope kind of guy.
I had a Super Scope as well.
Yeah.
But that was like a rocket-propelled grenade launcher.
Oh, it was totally training us to shoot RPGs at each other.
Like, my living room wasn't wide enough, so I had to stand like in the kitchen to do the Super Scope because I was too close to the TV to aim.
Yeah.
Apartment life.
That's fair. Chat says, here's a crazy idea. Don't be a jerk to other players. If someone beats you, then suck it up and congratulate the person that beat you. I agree. But maybe that's just like I lose a lot in online games. I'm okay with that, though. Online gaming, period. Bethesda Creation Club, which we heard about at E3, which you watched a lot of the Bethesda stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of both at the time looked at it and was kind of like, really? Like, why? Isn't that just paid mods? And they're like, no, it's not paid mods. But we're both like, is that paid mods? It kind of smells like DLC. And a lot of people are having some issues with it. As a lover of Bethesda games, at least the ones that are out currently, your thoughts on paying for things that somebody else has already made for the game, including those things that you possibly could get for free. Like, that's one of the benefits of PC gaming, right?
Yeah, I just want it all to be there. Like, I want the challenge
of
unlocking it or discovering it or whatever I have to do within the context of the game. So for the type of games I like to play in the way that I roll, it doesn't appeal to me.
Right.
But I can see how it could appeal to some other people who like just want to get to the end and they want whatever to help them get there, or they just want to look tricked out or whatever the case may be.
But don't you want like the big gigantic monster that looks like Macho Man Randy Savage screaming at you though? Like that would be fantastic.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's a thing you can do.
Will Slim Jims be involved?
They have used the snap it to a Slim Jim line a couple times in that one. I do love that mod. I might have to reinstall Fallout 4 just to play that one again. Or the Thomas the Tank Engine is the dragon in Skyrim. That's my favorite. You ever seen that one?
No.
Oh my goodness, we'll have to look that up. Thomas the Tank Engine replaces this dragon model in Skyrim in one of the mods, and and he looks pissed off the whole time, and it's just like, woo, toot toot, motherfuckers.
I think so I'm changing my mind, and you should purchase some of these just so you can play with our toddler in the room and she can get excited about Thomas the Tank Engine coming in. It's Thomas.
But you're just like, it's like toot toot, motherfuckers, and then you're like, Fus Roda, and then she's like petrified because you killed Thomas the Tank Engine.
Life lessons.
The circle of life.
Gotta learn it sometime, kid.
Pete Hines from Bethesda is been a little bit on the defensive about this whole kind of thing. What it amounts to in a lot of things to me with this paid mod kind of thing is they are just going to try to make money off of the creation of somebody else, which I don't necessarily. It's becoming prevalent in a lot of games. But it doesn't feel like none of the developers are actually incurring any cost. So they're just getting 30% off the top, or whatever it is for their, I think. I'm going with 30% because that's just sort of the standard for a lot of them. But, their argument is that the creators can get a little bit of a cut too, but it's like, what does it matter? So I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I feel about... it's cool if the creators get a couple of bucks or something like that, but then like, why does Bethesda get any cash? And it just seems like they're trying to hype up DLC but not having to do the work.
True. It's almost like fan fiction.
Yeah, it's like selling fan fiction on Amazon. Yeah.
But I do wonder if, to play devil's advocate, because he always needs one, if this could be sort of a backdoor in for some newer devs, and it can get them kind of noticed and get them a foot in with some of the studios and things like that. So maybe it's a trade-off for them of, well, I created this mod, but and I'm going to make 20 cents off of it because it's probably like points on a record.
It could be like that. I mean, I think some devs have gotten their start that way.
So
Real Stunt Panda says, I'd love to see Thomas the Tank Engine as a monster in a horror film. Dude, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you.
That's a perfect segue to our next topic.
The summer box office is coming to a close here in the United States, and it has topped the weekend box office. Thoughts on the Stephen King remake?
Haven't seen it yet. Don't know if I will. It's it. How many times are we going to say it during this?
Lots of it's. Lots of it's.
I'm excited that a horror film topped the box office and made such a astronomical amount of money.
It's like 114 million or something like that.
I think it was more. I think it was 198 globally.
Globally in the first weekend, right?
Yeah. Which is huge. Because I think it's a genre that's often overlooked. We know it's overlooked as far as award season goes, even though you don't do what you do to win awards, but still.
Yeah.
So that's great. But now that I'm a parent, It really creeps me out.
Oh, come
Even
on,
more
man.
so
Killer
than
Clowns?
but when I was like a 10-year-old kid and the like ABC miniseries version of it came out or whatever, that didn't freak me out. But now that I'm like a parent, I'm like, I don't want my kid nowhere near no sewers. Don't you be selling no little boats. We ain't doing none of this.
It's the like I've read the book and everything like that as well, and it's a Stephen King story. If you read other Stephen King stories, you kind of can understand where it goes. But my favorite thing about it coming back right now are all the memes, like the ones where it's like the old school version of like Pennywise from the original movie and stuff like that, where Pennywise is coming out the sewer. He's like, "I'll pay off your college loan debt," and the kid's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm in."
I take him up on that. Me and Sally Mae are not friends.
Chat says, I've read the book, no spoiler, but the end monster was so disappointing. Heard great things about the new film though. And Peyton said, I'm the opposite. I scare my kids. That's why we're friends. This is why we're friends.
So I have a question though, because you've read a lot of Stephen King stuff.
Yes.
And I've seen mostly the movies and read a couple of things. What is your Stephen King scale for judging how fucked up the world is right now? So, like, if Stand By Me is on one end and, like, I don't know, is it the other end for you, or what's your scale?
Goodness. Come back to me in just a second, and I will formulate a thought around that. What is your scale?
Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption are on one end.
Okay.
And then It/Misery is on the other end. Because to me, like, supernatural stuff like Pennywise is frightening.
Yeah.
But the more frightening thing is when real people do fucked up shit to other real people.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, Misery is creepy as hell. And there are probably a lot of people like that in the world.
I love Stand By Me, Green Mile, maybe?
Oh, I forgot about Green Mile.
Yeah, Green Mile's over there. I think that could be on like the nicer end of the scale. Dark Tower maybe somewhere in the middle. Gotta get that Idris Elba love in there. You know it.
For real.
Speaking of, we got Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. All right. Misery definitely on the farther end of the scale. Where would The Shining and The Stand go? I'm a little weirded on that one. Under the Dome was weird CBS thing that he did. Like, the book was okay. The weird thing was in there. Oh, links aren't in the chat. Sorry. Pennywise is the one that like even spawned a great punk band. That's my favorite. Like, I fucking love that shit.
That is true. I definitely think The Shining is more on the
definitely on the right hand side, like crazy fucked up shit.
And so is Carrie. I love Carrie. That's probably my favorite Stephen King.
The blood coming and everything like that. That's probably my far right. Like that and Pennywise, they're just hanging out on the side there.
Well, and plus she just wanted her mom to shut the fuck up. And we've all been there. Like, yeah.
All right, I'll take that. We have the segue into this though, because now that the summer blockbusters are sort of rounding down, as far as I'm concerned, we don't have too much else coming out until Star Wars in December. Got a couple of decent ones in there, but
Ferdinand the Bull with one John Cena.
What is this? What is this? No, what?
There's an animated adaptation of Ferdinand the Bull, and John Cena plays Ferdinand.
But you can't see him, so how are you going to watch the movie?
Exactly, and he's a bull. He's literally a bull in a china shop, and it's John fucking Cena.
Well, we get the Kingsman in 2 weekends. We get the Lego Ninjago movie or some stuff like that.
Leloid.
What? Yeah, we don't have much coming out, man. Oh, we get the My Little Pony movie. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We got nothing, man.
There's the I can't think of the name of it, but it's the Day of the Dead animated. It's kind of Tim Burton looking. It might be Tim Burton.
It might be, yeah.
I saw a preview for it when I took the kid to something.
Yeah, I mean, we get in as far as I'm concerned because of that. We get a national holiday when Blade Runner comes out, so I'm excited about that part.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Anyone want to babysit?
I don't know. I think the rest of it is just, I mean, it's kind of barren, which has been sort of the MO for the entire season. Like, they've kind of said that the summer blockbuster series this year has been kind of overall. And a lot of people are placing blame on things like Rotten Tomatoes, and some of the other sort of like critically, like Slash Film I think was in there as well too. It just feels like it just hasn't been a great year for movies, frankly.
You know who's really to blame?
Who's that?
Will Smith.
Oh, because he didn't do Independence Day?
Because there's no Will Smith. Like, we need Will Smith to save the world. We need Will Smith to save the box office. We need Will Smith to run for president and save America. So we need Millennium. It needs to happen. Will 2K is now.
Will 2K. This is the Millennium. Okay. All right.
But no, I don't blame Rotten Tomatoes. There were only less than a handful of movies that I actually wanted to see this summer.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman, which I went to see, which is the only one I actually got to see because that's life with a toddler, right? Girls' Night, which I'm gonna catch on.
I wouldn't necessarily consider that a summer blockbuster.
That was a sleeper hit and one that most people weren't betting on, and the all-black cast, the Girls' Night, did a lot better than whatever the all-white cast version of it was. I guess it wasn't all-white because Zoe Kravitz was in it. So there was that. I didn't see Guardians 2, but you did.
I did. Yep. I saw it with the Intrepid Intern.
And that's about
because Alien Covenant was kind of had promise, but ultimately kind of fell through.
Mm-hmm.
We had Spider-Man in there too, which actually was pretty good.
Yeah, I could have seen Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Valerian.
Yeah, that one fell flat as well.
The previews for it didn't even look great. Like,
no, it looked stupid.
They had no charisma, no.
Yeah.
It's like, and it looked very blue screeny.
Oh yeah, well, and they looked bored acting in the previews.
Yeah,
they were just like, I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Pretty much.
Like, it looked as bad as like what's that one, the Divergent series, the third movie that didn't get made or whatever like that. It looks as bad as what that would have become.
Tier.
Yeah. Wait, so people are saying Will Smith is a Scientologist in the chat. Is he? For real?
I believe that is real talk.
Oh, okay. Somebody says that he stopped being a Scientologist quietly, though.
Oh. Maybe he'll be on Leah Remini's show, which is going to have a second season on A&E.
Is she like...
It is very fascinating to watch when you're in a hotel room on business travel.
Is she like running the Underground Railroad for like Scientologists to get away? Is that what's happening right now?
I mean, she's mostly talking to people who have already met up with Harriet and escaped, but yeah.
So you're not giving her the full Harriet treatment now.
Yeah, she's not Harriet. She's
like the reporter up north?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we could equate that to the Civil War.
Oh yeah, Rotten Tomatoes. So
well, no, I'm reading chat through here, and it was like J-Law is also a Scientologist. This way said Jennifer Lawrence, and then they're saying yes. And
wait, really?
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah,
she doesn't. Well, not that there's a type, but I mean, that's just Tom Cruise. I shouldn't equate jumping on couches with Scientology.
Yeah, but like John Travolta as well. Like he jumps on couches. Will Smith jumps on couches. Has Jennifer Lawrence jumped on couch, chat? To tell us there. Find some time where she's jumped on a couch. Probably on the Ellen talk show. Probably happened there.
Well, yeah, because Oprah's not around anymore.
Right, Oprah's not around anymore.
I mean, she's around, but...
Well, yeah, no, she hasn't left us.
Thank God.
Somebody said country. No. She said no, but she trips upstairs a lot. I don't want to know how you know that.
Oh, she does it at award shows.
Oh, really?
Because she pre-games too much, probably. And so
I would too if I had to go to award shows.
Few drinks in the limo. Well, and it's ridiculous that you're getting all corseted and made up at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
It's longer than SummerSlam and WrestleMania combined.
Exactly.
It's like 12 hours of bullshit.
So get your drink on.
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes. I don't use Rotten Tomatoes. Do you?
I don't either. The only time I notice something is when a headline comes out and it's like the Emoji Movie is poop. And
it was shit though. Like it was literally.
But for me, Rotten Tomatoes really never confirms. It only confirms what I was already thinking. Like, I wasn't saving up my money and hiring a babysitter to go see the Emoji Movie. It wasn't that kind of movie. So
here's the thing though about Rotten Tomatoes is like they have their detractors, but like one of those detractors is Brett Ratner. And he's like, oh, I think it's destruction of our business. And it's like, yeah, no, you did a pretty good job to really completely fuck over the X-Men series. Like, it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so if we want to talk about destruction of business, X3, that's all I'm saying. X3. That was him, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Before I say X3. No, not a BMW X3. X3 movie. Google, you should know this. Yeah, directed by Brett Ratner. I had my joke right the first time. So
have you been looking at cars?
No, but I haven't been counting blue cars either.
Okay.
Yeah,
they got that wrong on Beat Shazam. I was disappointed.
I don't know. What fucking kids these days. It should be noted, by the way, too, that we say that it's been kind of a down year for the box office and all that stuff, and I think it's still like a $40 billion industry last year. They haven't done the full run for this year, obviously, but like it's a lot of fucking money going on there, and it's China, and like, cause like, what is it? The Transformers movie killed in China or something like that. Like it did like nothing here in America, but once it got to Chinese theaters, like it blew up or something like that. So, apparently, plot not big, or they just don't care, in China.
Well, I mean, sometimes you just want to watch things go boom.
I guess so. I mean, that was basically the plot of
boom.
That's basically the plot of Fast 7, right? Like,
that's just pretty much the plot of all Fast and Furious movies.
That's true. It is why it's the greatest franchise.
And family.
Yeah, and physics.
And physics
do not. Yeah,
because family.
Oh yeah, chat saying Warcraft was really big in China too. Apparently.
Ooh, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, we should actually watch that sometime.
We should, and we should drink.
Yeah, we should drink.
We should come up with a Warcraft drinking movie.
Yeah, every time it's terrible, we take a sip.
Our livers can't handle that.
For one night.
Okay.
For one night, we could probably do it. Yeah. Speaking of Great Star, I really miss Paula Abdul. You know what I miss? I miss Paula Abdul too.
What is Paula up to?
I don't know. I'm not going to Google it live on the show, though. But if somebody knows what Paula Abdul's up to, I'd love to know.
Every time I see the Laker Girls, I think of her.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
She was a Laker girl before.
How many times did you see Laker Girls? What are you doing behind my back?
Every once in a blue moon.
Okay.
I still watch the NBA.
Sounds good.
But yeah, in the Rotten Tomatoes thing, like, opinions are opinions, so
and they're like assholes.
Everybody's got one, and I'm gonna see if I want to see a movie. I'm gonna see a movie, and there are movies that I think are absolutely wonderful, and
like Girls Night.
You turn around and walk out the room like
all the time,
like The Day After Tomorrow. You cannot tell me that The Day After Tomorrow is not a perfectly fine modern day disaster movie.
That is. First off, disaster movies are terrible. We are already living in a disaster right now.
Well, we are in a disaster, but that's why you need to think of the worst disaster that can happen the day after tomorrow.
What about the day after next Wednesday?
Or the Friday after next.
Right. The Friday after next, I would stand as a disaster movie as well. It's just
they probably should have stopped at next Friday.
They should have stopped at next Friday when they had to go. How long do you think they were kicking around that in the writer's room? Like, what are we going to call the movie?
Man, we could do a whole episode about the progression of Ice Cube's cinematic career.
We could just do an entire episode about the progression of Ice Cube, frankly. Because there's a lot of things I'd love to dive into and try to understand why.
Or of Ice Cubes, which brings us back to The Day After Tomorrow, which is a perfectly fine disaster movie.
I will not budge on this one.
What are your thoughts on the Poseidon Avenger?
No, we already had Titanic.
How are we married?
Because you asked.
No, you asked.
But you asked first, and then I said yes, and then I said, nah, I asked again.
This is revisionist history. What the hell are you talking about? I got receipts somewhere.
Chat is asking, how many shows have you seen that everybody said, oh, they're great and they sucked? And then more importantly, how many movies have you seen where the reviews hated it, but you loved it?
Oh gosh, a lot of the latter.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even hate. You're gonna kick me out of the room.
I might kick you out of the studio. We'll see.
I don't love it, but I don't hate X-Men Origins Wolverine.
God damn. God damn. Really?
I mean, maybe I'm blinded by Hugh Jackman and all his Hugh Jackmanness.
That was the worst Deadpool ever. Ever.
But Remy.
No.
But
no.
But
no. Tropic Thunder was really good.
We saw that together.
We saw that together.
Tropic
I was thinking of the ones that people hated. I actually really like Tropic Thunder.
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as the
you
dude.
You never go full retard. No. Shows. We could go all day.
Oh yeah.
We could go all day on shows that everybody loved. Looking at Friends and Seinfeld and what else?
I ain't watched none of those.
You didn't watch any of those.
So, but part of the reason why I didn't watch those, because as we established earlier, black, and not because of the shows themselves, but because those shows came on Thursday night, and they were up against Fox on Thursday night, which was Martin and Living Single and New York Undercover.
Yeah, it was
so
a demographic
I was watching
play.
that.
Yeah, it was a demographic play.
Yeah.
You didn't fit into that box that they were trying to put you in right there.
Yeah.
What's some other shows in there? I didn't get into a lot of the like some of the older shows and stuff like that. Like I watched Home Improvement because my dad watched it. That was cool, I guess.
A more recent one for me was Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I couldn't get through Breaking Bad.
I think
I had nothing against that show, but it's just like,
I think I tried to get into it too late, and so by the time I decided I was going to binge watch the previous seasons before the last season started,
yeah,
it lost all the suspense for me because I knew there were 6 seasons or how many ever seasons there were, and so I'm like, well, he's going to get out of this pickle, so
and it's like
whatever.
It's interesting too because like, and chat is saying sort of the same thing. It's like the more people recommend a show, the less likely, at least I know you are, to actually want to watch it.
Oh yeah,
like we had to catch up with Game of Thrones for a while because everybody was talking about it, and we were just kind of like, I don't know.
And even the first episode, spoiler alert, but if y'all ain't watched the first episode of Game of Thrones,
if they haven't watched the first episode and they've listened to this podcast, they're fucked because we've screwed everything up.
The first episode, I'm like, okay, whatever. People in the olden days, blah, blah, blah. Oh, brother and sister having sex. Okay, this is getting interesting. Did he just push a little boy out the window? Oh, now I'm watching this show. So that was the only reason why I stuck around.
Yeah, and then it just kind of went straight from there. So, chat wants to know if we've seen Narcos. We haven't seen Narcos yet.
Nope, haven't seen Narcos.
That's a Netflix joint. We could probably start binging one day.
Yeah, there's so much programming right now.
Yeah, there is a lot of it. Like, I still got to catch up on all the Rick and Morty for season 3.
And then there's stuff that I give up on, like House of Cards.
Grey's Anatomy.
Hoover's
not here to pick on me about my Grey's Anatomy thing, but I gave up on it a while back.
I read the Entertainment Weekly recaps so that when either when a major character leaves or when the season or the series finale finally rolls around, I can watch it and not be completely lost.
Yeah.
But Grey's Anatomy should have ended when you have written the show for so long that the only logical way you can write actors off the show is by killing them, the show has been on the air too long.
That's true. That is actually true. Speaking of writing off characters, I'm gonna end the show with probably the saddest news I've heard in a long time. I mean that sarcastically, obviously. But The Walking Dead. Yeah, that's another show I can't watch.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Zombies.
I just do not care about it. And it has Denny, which we've established on this show.
Ooh,
would be
Jeffrey
one of the,
Dean Morgan.
Would be JDM would be one of the main reasons I'd watch Walking Dead, and I still can't get into it.
And that guy from Love Actually.
Yes, he is in it as well too. That is correct. Still can't watch it though. I don't know why.
Nah.
I'll go back and read the books. I feel like I'm gonna get him back into those. And
True
stuff,
Blood too. Never got into True Blood. Same type of deal.
I could do True Blood more. I didn't have HBO at the time. But
that's
because
we were broke.
Well, that's true. We was broke. I could get back into it. So, yes, exactly. It is the writing. Yes, Panda. It is the writing on Walking Dead that is killing me right now. It's just horribly written. Like I've seen enough of it to know, like as a writer myself, cannot do it. Would 0 out of 10 could not make it through. It's like 50 Shades of Grey for you as a copy editor. You could never fucking listen to that either, or read it either. Yeah. Nope. Anyways, the end of the show tonight, our worst news that I've heard in a very long time, from Sky News out of Britain. Liam Neeson is retiring from action films.
What about Nonstop, though?
What about Nonstop, though? What about Keep Stopping? What about Tooken 5? Like, what am I gonna do?
Tooken 5.
I lost Bruce Willis and now I'm losing Liam Neeson? Like, like, and he said, he's like, look, I'm fucking 65. Like, and that was an exact quote, by the way. That was just not me inserting that. He said, I'm fucking 65. Audiences are eventually going to give up and go, come on, man. But still, like, Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Although, so every time I watch Love Actually now, which is so far not a remove from the action genre, but you'll see where I'm going with it. I get sad because in that movie, his wife died. And back in 2009, Liam Neeson's wife, Natasha Richardson, died after a skiing accident. And then after that, he said in interviews before that he started making all these movies because he missed his wife and he wanted something to do and to take his mind off of it. So, in which I totally get, because, if something happened to you, I would be heartbroken and would want a distraction.
That makes me feel good, boo.
Well,
that makes me feel good.
Don't feel too good, because also movie sets have craft services, and since you cook, I wouldn't be able to eat. So, it's a win-win.
So you would take up acting just for the craft services?
I mean, I would have to support me and our kid.
I've been on movie sets. It's not that great. It's okay.
It's probably better than what I would make.
You make like 2 things.
3.
Chocolate chip cookies don't count.
Peanut butter pie, bitches. But anyway, yes, I would have desserts on lock.
Okay.
And I would bring dessert to the movie set and everyone would love me.
Okay, fine.
But so I'm hoping that in addition to him naturally getting older and that sort of thing, that this means that he is in a better place.
You're saying Liam Neeson is looking for love?
Maybe
next summer in 2018.
I mean, we need some. He can be. I don't want to say romantic comedy, but he can be that guy. He can be the sexy older love interest, a la a Robert Redford, Paul Newman
he
type.
Could do a Robert
go for
Redford,
it.
Yeah. Joe wants peanut butter pie now.
I can make that happen.
Okay. The funny thing about it is Liam Neeson is not any shy about the fact that he's making a ton of money off these action movies, and he's just like, yeah, but still, like, why? And I feel like that is an important thing that he's out there. He's like, it's not for the money, guys. I don't need the money. Like, I make plenty cash. These action movies pay a lot of money for this kind of stuff, but. I'm down with that.
And really, how many times can you do Taken? Like, we joke about it.
He's rescued his daughter, his wife,
the dog,
the
the cat. The neighbor's dog.
Ooh, okay, I will pay money to see a John Wick Liam Neeson double feature in the same movie. Like if those two, Liam Neeson is trying to get the dog back, runs into John Wick, they duo and take down all the rest of the bad guys.
See, I was thinking more of 24 gets rebooted with Liam Neeson.
Ooh, I'd take that too.
But it's realistic 24, so like he goes to the early bird special.
He's hitting the bingo hall. He gets his assignment in the bingo hall.
Exactly. He's got to take a nap. He's going to get his slippers and read his newspaper.
The guy from the Allstate commercials like, Liam, we need you. He's like, yeah, but I'm really tired.
Exactly. I only operate between Jeopardy's on. It's time for me to go to bed. Like he's got his schedule.
The president's calling him and he
saves the world around that. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, my goodness. No, I don't think he lost all his money to Bernie Madoff either. I did see that in the chat. He made it all back at this point. He's made a shit ton of money off of Tucking.
Fucking Madoff.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. And he got a movie too. Where's our movie? Where's our show? Well, this is our show, but still, where's our like movie show? Like we could do this.
If the Chrisleys have a show, we can have a show.
Right.
I love the Chrisleys though.
Yeah. I think that's it. We're gonna end on Liam Neeson because everybody's loving Liam Neeson. We love Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah. I do want Key and Peele to come back and do a thing because like they still do these little bits every once in a while. Like Keegan Michael Key did one for ESPN this past weekend for Hingle McCringleberry. I do want them to come back and just do one more thing for like Liam Neeson's at like an award show or something like that. Like
that's my shit.
That would be hilarious. Yeah. Chat's giving us hell. You guys have been listening to the Super Magical Podcast. Big thanks to Real Stunt Panda for joining us in the chat tonight. Pated for joining us in the chat tonight. Mojav, we got to call him out in always for the follow as we come through. He's usually with us in the chat. If you guys are listening on this as a podcast and want to interact with the show on Twitch, we stream every Thursday, typically at 8 p.m. Pacific, though next week we'll probably be back at the 10 p.m. adjusted time just for this one. If you're not able to watch the show live, we are available on demand on Twitch and YouTube shortly after. We're also available on your favorite podcatcher. Please throw us a subscribe or a favorite. Let us know that you're doing it. We will thank you on the show. We do no paid advertising, so folks like Real Stunt Panda, who just gave us a follow, that's the only way we know. We do a little bit of word of mouth out there. We're trying to do this on a weekly basis, chat, and just talk about, pop culture. Have some fun with it. One quick note that I am going to do, I'm going to kick this thing in the back right here. It's the Identico Kickstarter. It's a book that I'm writing that's an RPG. If you like rolling dice, which we don't have the dice up here, Hoover's not with me to do daily initiative. But we have the dice usually. We play RPGs all the time as a podcast and a crew. I wrote one. It's a cyberpunk RPG that we're on Kickstarter right now. We are 65% of the way there with about 15 days left. We don't have too much farther to go. I really want to make this book happen. So if you can, throw us a couple of bucks. That'd be fantastic. If you want to go and learn more about the game, it's bit.ly/IDENTECO. That's Identico. Thank you, Vanna White. Or for you, is it Vanna Black?
I can be Vanna
Black. You can be Vanna White? Okay, fine.
Gray.
Vanna Gray. Okay. First of her name. The podcast is recorded here in Seattle as a production of Super Magical Productions and Humanoid Games. Our executive Peter. That's what it is from now on. Our executive Peter is Gator Pete. Our benevolent overlord is Grandpa Joe. If you have a comment or question for the show and we're not live, find us on Facebook or Twitter. Search Super Magical Podcast. Twitter, you guys have been awesome. We guys will see you next week. Mwah! Love you in the mouth.
Executive